Morning grade 8, so we're going to do equations, third part of our equations, where we've got variables on both sides of the equal sign now, and we have to manipulate the equation. Remember, we're solving for x, and we have to manipulate it by bringing all my knowns to one side and the other side. So let's just recap my first note I gave you guys. This was your first video. You should have made your own notes. Remember, I said knowns and unknowns. Knowns to one side, unknowns to the other side. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other side. All right, that's very important. Okay, so let's start with today's work. All right, so now let's look at this equation. I've got 5x minus 2 is equal to 6 plus 4x. Okay, so now there's a problem here. I need to just get my, don't have my highlighters. So now we have to look here. We've got a set of variables on both sides. I've got an x on both sides of the equation. Okay, so the way Mr. Avellini works this one out is, I've got a 4x here and I've got a 5x here. I use the example of saying, let's pick a rugby team, boys. Let's pick a rugby team, and who do we pick first normally in a rugby team? We pick the biggest guy first, am I right? So I use that as my example. So which is bigger? The 5x. So I will leave the 5x where he is. Now this is a weak example because sometimes it's not always like this, and I'll show you the next example now. So 5x is the biggest one. So I'm going to take my 4x and rather move him that side. So then what am I going to do with my -2? I'm going to move him to the other side. So I'm going to move the -2 that way. Remember, when they go across the equal signs, the signs change, eh? So I'm going to have 5x. I bring this, remember, and it's always married, So when that 4x comes over, it becomes minus 4x is equal to, that 6 stays where it is, but that minus 2 subtract 2 comes over, it becomes plus 2. So what's 5x minus 4x? That is x is equal to 8. And now, like, you can check yourself. Remember, my left-hand side must always equal my right-hand side. So if I'm going to put my 5 in there, what's happening between the 5 and the x? It's timesing. So what's 5 times x, or 5 times 8? 5 eighths is 40. What's 40 minus 2? 38. So let's check if this makes 38. What's 4 times 8? Let me get it. 4 times 8 is 32. Yes, 4 eighths is 32. So 4 times the x, which is 8. So 4 times 8 is 32. What's 32 plus 6? 38. So do both sides equal 38? Yes, they do. All right, I'm going to look at my next example, and these are from your textbook. We can just go over across to your textbook. This is in your textbook, the same page number that you're doing today. There, I've just done one over here for you. That's that one. And I'm going to do this example with you. And that is the page number 100, which you're doing today for me. Okay, so let's look at the next example. 3x minus 7 equals 5x plus 2. Okay, again, I've got two variables. Yes, I'm glad the Mind Action Series book is really good. They really do in depth. Sometimes they go really far and they get really hard, but they do everything. They cover everything. That's why I chose this book this year. So, do you see now I've got two x's again on both sides of the equation, right? So where are we going to take our x's? Remember, I use the rugby team. You always choose the biggest guy. So who's the biggest guy? Is 3x bigger or 5x bigger? 5x is bigger. So I'm going to move the 3x to the 5x. And then what am I going to move where am I going to move the 2? I'm going to move the 2 other side because I'm getting all my unknowns to one side. The previous example, I took my unknowns to the left-hand side. Now I'm taking my unknowns to the right-hand side because I'm always, as far as possible, I teach it this way. I want to keep x positive. So I have 5x. That is plus 3x. Minus 3x now when it comes over. Because a positive, it's 3x. Is 3x positive or negative? It's positive. Now I have -7 here, or minus 7, all right? Now you kids, I take some time. I have to get this through to you kids. It's hard for me to explain it now through this type of medium. You're going to tell me about, so isn't that subtract 7? Okay, cool. What's 0 subtract 7? -7. So it's -7. Do you understand? Because some of you maths kids will tell me, sir, but that's not -7, that's subtract 7. Okay, cool. What's nothing minus 7? It's -7. Okay, but you can just keep it as -7 if you want to. So I take this 2 back over this side. So I have -7 subtract 2. -7 subtract 2. What's -7 subtract 2? It's -9 is equal to 2x. And it's actually giving me a very ugly answer. Sometimes it gets like this, grade 8s. Sometimes it doesn't. Most of the times it doesn't, but this is an ugly example. But I'm glad that we're doing an example like this here. Okay, what am I solving for? Am I solving for 2x or x? I'm solving for x. So how do I get rid of the 2? You should know this from the previous examples and exercises. So to get rid of this 2, what's happening between this x and the 2? They're timesing. So I divide by 2. And then I divide by 2. If I divide by 2, what happens here? I cancel. And I'm left with x. And then that's my answer. Can I simplify this, grade 8s? You hate fractions. We're going to do another section on fractions. Probably going to give you a little open book assignment to try and get some assessment marks. And can it simplify? No, it can't, because 2 can't go into 9. So that is the answer. Please don't take it in decimal. I don't want it in decimal. Don't use your leave it as improper fraction. Okay. So those are your 2 examples. I could do another one, but I'm pretty sure I'm fine with that. Remember, I took my unknowns to one side and knowns to the other side. And remember, with your x's, you want to take your x's to where the larger x is, so the x's can stay positive. All right. So take these notes down that I gave you in the video, write them down, and then just chat to me on Teams if you need more examples. Thank you, grade 8. I hope you enjoy your section. I'll put up answers by 12. God bless.